Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Frame Fatales. I'm your host, Liz Starr. This is my last run of the night. I'm gonna miss you all, but it's okay because you won't miss me, and that's what truly matters. We have Enchantress of Numbers here for our next run, Blossom Tales, the Sleeping King. Hello, Eon.
Hello, and joining me is Claris on helping out on commentary.
Hi.
So I think we're just going to go ahead and get started. This is a super awesome game. Time starts when I select my save file, which I will do right now. And so this game is basically the grandfather who's sleeping at the chair is telling a story to his two grandkids. And so they'll have some impact on the story as we play the game. And during the game, their dialogue will show up in black at the top of the screen, and the in-game dialogue will be at the bottom of the screen. And here we find out we're playing as Lily, and it's a very special day. It's a day that only comes once a year, not once a year, once in a lifetime. So it's not even a birthday, but we have to go to the castle. So, may not be immediately obvious, but this game is very heavily inspired by the 2D Zeldas. In particular, I feel like it's inspired by A Link to the Past and Link's Awakening. So that's a teleport stone. Oh, good.
Yeah, you could definitely see the Zelda influence here.
So here we are gonna get knighted. We're gonna get a sword and a shield, and that guy standing to the right of the king, he looks cool and not at all evil, right? I'm sure we won't see him again.
Yeah, it still seems weird to me that they designed this character that you're never gonna see again, but...
So now we got our first mission. We're a newly recruited knight. We have to go, obviously, to take care of a rat problem in the basement. So this is basically a tutorial dungeon. So we learn the mechanics and hit the switch to open the door. And we're gonna get a potion from this chest. It's not strictly required, but it does help. There's one boss in particular that gives me a lot of trouble, and if you don't use it there are some places where it comes in handy for damage boosting. So
yeah, damage boosting is a big part of the run later on, for sure.
the game has a number of these little trap rooms where you have to take out all the enemies before you can advance, which is a common feature in Zelda games as well. Oh, well, I accidentally held to the right too long.
Ouch.
That's okay.
That gives a very good example of just how unforgiving this game can be at times.
Okay, so that one was not intentional, but we'll get through here, I promise. And it helps, there's basically always a health refill right before a boss, so the fact that we have low health is not really a problem. Now, just gotta move the statues. It's nice that the statue that you need to move never changes, so... Oh, come on. So here I'm gonna hug the left wall in an effort to avoid activating this teleport pad. And basically if we do that, then that saves a little bit of time after this boss fight. These rats are not behaving. Oh my goodness. That was... that was a pretty frustrating boss fight there.
Yeah, it definitely looked it. Like,
So what the game wants us to do here is bomb at the top of the screen, and then that'll unlock a cutscene. But we don't really have time for that, so instead we're gonna death warp out of here. So it saves some time, like 40 seconds or something like that. And since we didn't activate that one teleport pad, it puts us right back to the only one we had activated, right in front of the castle. Since we didn't do the cutscene, the front gates to the castle won't open, so we have to find another way out of the castle so we can go to the next point in the story. Basically, what the cutscene told us is that Crocus, the evil wizard that we saw in the first scene, put a sleeping spell on the king. And so now we have to go get these ingredients to break the spell. So that's where we're going now. And everything was exactly how it's intended. We use the bombs to clip through the wall, and basically the way that works is the game doesn't like it if both the character and the bomb try to occupy the same space, and so then it handles that by depending on the situation, either making Lily move or making the bomb move. And you can combine that with some other things like taking damage and the bomb placing animation to get it to push you through a lot of walls. And so that will be a staple in the run. It allows us to skip quite a lot. Okay, so now we're headed to Golem's Haven. So this is the town right outside the first temple. And we're gonna have to have a fight here. This is an area where the kids can have an impact on the game. They're arguing over who you're fighting, and it could either be these archers or some golems. And the archers are the default selection, and they're a little bit easier because their movement is a little bit less random, and they stop to attack you, which makes killing them a little bit easier. And so, oh goodness, come on. Okay. So we took them out, and now the elders are happy, and they told us where to go to get to the Runestone Temple, where we can get the first ingredient. And I forget the name of the ingredients, but there are 3 ingredients we have to get, which, not surprisingly, is 3 temples we have to go through. Okay. And those are some angry trees. So this is a lot of just trying to do the pathing as efficient as possible. Okay, so now all these knights are here trying to get into the temple, and they're just banging at these stones and not making any progress. And then they get attacked, and now we have to figure out how to get in there. It's basically like Simon. Okay, so here we are in the first temple.
Yeah, I just checked it. The fairy clover is the first ingredient you get.
That sounds correct. But since I mashed through, in speedrunning you mash through all the dialogue, it's real easy to forget the names of things. So, and then there's a lot of like cycle-based or like pattern-based things. So this room looks really frustrating, but if you know the movement, it's super easy. So, and remember we have bombs, so that lets us skip quite a bit of the dungeon. My health is not great. So I'm gonna have to take this next fight pretty safe. Do that for safety as well. Okay.
That really scared me.
Me too. So, okay. I can hopefully get some health in the next room. No health. Okay. No health at all in any of those pots. That's kind of unusual, but I should be able to make it to a room with health in it. Okay. Yeah, so now here we have a tile puzzle, and basically you just have to walk on all the gray tiles. If you walk on the red tiles, it resets the puzzle, and you have to start over. So they're pretty simple. They do get complicated, bigger, larger, more open ones later, but they're generally not that bad. I'm gonna get a little bit of health here. Dang it, I didn't want to grab all that health. So, because I'm gonna do a death abuse coming up, but I need a little bit of health for a damage boost bomb clip first. So, okay, so this one is a timing-based one. I've got a little bit of a buffer for it, but there we go. First try. So basically, the way that works is you need to be in the bomb placing animation when the first bomb explodes. And now it saves a little bit of time walking back to the room where we got health if we just take a death abuse. So nice little death warp. And now on to the first boss that's clearly not a Landmolas. Or however that's pronounced.
It's totally different. No resemblance.
Okay.
That seems really good. Like, I've seen you fight that boss.
Yeah, that was a pretty good fight. Oh, dang it. Gotta hit that switch. It helps to know where the switches are. And now we have the bow and arrow. And there are lots of puzzles with the bow and arrow, as we'll see. But that definitely helps for a ranged attack. And then now this room is one of the more annoying rooms in the game. These, basically we're gonna have to light up all these torches, and all these enemies like to get in the way of your bow and arrow shot to light them up, so... it's not a hard room, it's just frustrating because everything wants to get in your way. And here there's, behind the vines on the wall is clues for how these are supposed to be arranged, but it never changes, so you can just do the same thing every time. Okay, so now we can light all the torches. Oh, dang it. Tried to... So the sword dash it... Oh, see, that rock snake got in the way. I'm sure that's just the first of many that will get in the way. Oh, yeah. Oof. Okay.
I'm not really sure if we've really explained the energy bar.
Oh,
But,
yeah,
like-
all the sub-weapons, the bombs and the arrows and everything, make use of the green energy bar, the stamina bar, as I like to call it. And so you basically have unlimited as long as... No health. As long as you have the green bar, you have unlimited ammo. So, got a heart, so that's good. Try to get another heart, because... Okay. Oh, see, that's what happens when you try to cut corners.
Yeah, these always look so scary to me because they seem so easy to mess up.
Yeah, it helps to have a good D-pad.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is why a lot of controllers that I've tried to use just won't work because they have too many phantom diagonal presses. And now here's, so we have the spinning spike balls on chains, and we have a torch puzzle. So everyone's favorite, right?
Sure. Definitely.
Okay. I'm gonna wait, just because the next room is, I can easily die because there's a golem in there that likes to punch you. And I didn't make that. Dang it. Okay. Nope. I had no other... I wasn't going to get there without taking damage. Okay, there's a heart. That's really good. Okay. Wow, managed not to take any damage. So now here we go on to the boss of this dungeon. It's a big golem. We have to dodge its hands and attack it with a combination of bombs and arrows. So he has a good handful of attacks, and it's basically random as far as I know which attack he chooses to do at any given time. And then the different attacks that last varying amounts of time. So basically that determines how many arrow shots you can get in based on which attack he chooses to do. And you can tell also, get an indication of the boss's health based on the screen flashes when he takes damage, and when it's green, he's got almost full health. When it's yellow, it's like mid-range health, and when it flashes red, it's low health. So I think just 2 more hits, and this is a good attack because I can get 2 arrow shots off after it. All right, there we go. Good fight.
GG.
So we got the fairy clover. Is that what you said it was?
Yes, the fairy clover.
So that's the first of the 3 ingredients, and now we're gonna go on to the Boiling Caverns. And so these mages or whatever they are hanging out here don't really believe in Lily because she's just a new recruit, but they're excited that we got the first ingredient, so. Right. So I went out of my way to activate a portal on the way to Golem's Haven, and we're going to make use of that now to save a few seconds of walking. Yeah, the question about what controller I use, I'm actually using the Joy-Cons for the Switch. The discrete directional buttons actually are really nice. So here's another place where you can have some impact on the run. Although it's basically the kids are arguing over fighting a pirate queen and a ninja king or ninja bandit. But I just take the first one because it's easy on the menuing and mashing, and we just nope out of there. So. And now in the water, you actually go faster if you swing your sword as you're walking, so. And that's also true on ice, which we'll see later. Alright, I got that shot off before the Zora was in the way. And now we have to light some more torches so we can get into this dungeon. And this is, I would say, in my opinion, this is the hardest dungeon in the run, so.
Just as a viewer, I'd have to say you're very correct on that from everything I've seen of it.
So we're going to clip up here and get a key. Now remember this key because we're not actually going to use it for a very long time. I'm going to try to get some health because I need to do a clip over the lava coming up, and so the more health you can have during that, the better. So I'll see if there's a heart in this. And this is a timing-based clip. It's basically the hardest kind of clip in the game because we have to be placing the bomb when we take damage from the lava. Oh. There we go. And now I have very low health, so please... okay, we got a heart there, so... And now here's a block sliding puzzle, and again, this is a pretty simple one. If you go for like 100%, they do get very large and complicated. But for the most part, they're pretty manageable. There aren't any that are required that are super difficult. Okay, right. Oh, I got another heart. So there's a clip over the lava in this room, but... Oh, dang it. Okay, well, I'm gonna do that, I guess. Oh shoot, I did not want to take that damage. Okay, there's a clip that you can do over the lava in this room, but because my health was pretty low already, I didn't want to die and have to redo the first clip. Because if you do die at this point, it would put you back at the start of the dungeon, so... Dang it. Okay. Gonna hopefully get some health in this. Oh, shoot. Okay, of course there's no heart in there. Got that heart. So there's a room coming up where I really would like to have good health for.
would say this is scary to watch, but that applies to like every room in this entire dungeon.
Yeah. This room's actually not so bad. Okay, well we got some health, that's good. So here's the bigger tile puzzle, or block puzzle. And this one you do kind of have to be careful not to block yourself out from being able to solve it. But again, it's pretty straightforward, so. And the last one. Okay, I'm gonna check. There's a couple pots. This is the room I wanted the health for. There's a couple pots I'm gonna check for health. Okay, we got another heart. That's really good. Okay, made it through there. No hearts there. Gonna be careful in this trap room. Okay, survived there. Gonna try to get some health. Of course, no health. Where's... there you spawn. Gonna have to play it a little safe here. Shoot. Okay. Dang it. Okay. Okay, well...
I think oof is like the best description of this dungeon possible.
That's okay. We get health at the end of this room, so... and this is a bigger tile puzzle, but this one's really not that difficult. Okay. So, and then we have a boss fight here, and this is one of the more difficult boss fights with the amount of health that we have, so I'm going to concentrate on this and make use of the iframes that you get with the sword dash. And also throw a lot of bombs. Oh, shoot. This is like my worst attack to defend against. Oof. Okay, this is why I saved that potion.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's a real stressful fight. You need to go. There we go. Got to remember how to set up my inventory. So here, there's another good clip. We're supposed to have to go through a bunch of stuff to activate some switches in the corners. But we have bombs. So we're going to activate one switch and then do a clip over the lava. Dang it. Okay. There we go. That clip is a little bit touchy. Oh, I don't like where... Just stay away, don't come up to the top of the screen here. Okay, so now here's another timing-based clip. There we go. Got it second try. That saves quite a bit of time, actually. Oh. There we go. So, those land mollusks have a lot less health than the first one. So... Oh, dang it. There was a heart there. I'm gonna get this health. Because I don't really want to die. And so, also, the boomerang in this game behaves a lot more like the boomerang from a Binding of Isaac than it does from like the boomerang from Legend of Zelda. So, bombs make this game so much nicer. It's actually really fun. When I played through the game the first time, I didn't know about the bomb clipping, and it was still a lot of fun. Enough that I decided to learn to speedrun the game. Oof. Okay, trying for more hearts. Okay. So we're almost at the boss of this dungeon, which is good. And the boss of this dungeon is also can be a bit of a pain. But again, we're gonna make use of bombs to skip a bunch of stuff. We're supposed to go through this whole thing over the lava down there, and instead, just gonna go up here. And there we go.
I love all these clips.
Yeah, the clips are super great. Just gotta pay attention to my health because it's easy to forget to check the pots if you don't realize your health is low. There we go. So there we got our second ingredient. And that was a rainbow split by 0.7 seconds.
Wow.
All right, so now we are headed up the mountain to Frostroot Shrine, and this is actually in the any % run. This is the first place you go after getting the bombs. So, and it's interesting that the cutscenes act as triggers for various things in this game, and so the cutscene of going up the mountain, which we'll see, actually basically despawns all of the bosses we've already fought. So we can't actually go up to this up this way first in the all bosses run, because then we would not actually be able to kill all the bosses.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it just assumes that you've done everything that you need to at that point, and it gives you all the ingredients that we already obtained and stuff like that. So
I always find it pretty fascinating when games work like that.
yeah, so and now. Okay. These mushrooms can be a little bit annoying sometimes. They like to get in your way. And you can see it's snowing, and yeah, this right here is the cutscene that triggers everything. So and so now we're gonna get a new item too. We're supposed to exit through the north of the town, which sets up a cutscene, but we don't have time for cutscenes, so... oh, heck. Okay, I gotta wait for my stamina to recharge, because I did that wrong. There we go. Perfectly intended. So this here is where we get the dash shoes, and you're supposed to do like a race through this little maze thing here, but that hasn't activated because we didn't do the cutscene, so we can just clip right into the maze and get the shoes. Okay, so now we clip again, and gotta hold down here, and clip again. And it's interesting here, we walk through this hot springs to refill our health, and normally walking through the water slows you down, but if you walk at the edge, it doesn't slow you down, and you still get healed, so it's really cool how that works.
Yeah, that's useful.
And so now we're just making our way over to the Frostroot Shrine. Normally there are these statues that are positioned all over the place that you have to reposition to open the gates to the shrine. But because we didn't trigger that cutscene, they're already in place and we don't have to worry about it. So I don't know exactly what's going on under the covers there, but it's kind of cool that it works that way. So those 4 statues there you'd have to reposition and drag all over the map. Oh. So now, making our way here, we've got a another land molest fight, but we don't want to use bombs on this because if we break open those urns, there's going to be like zombies or skeletons under them, and we'll have to take them out before we can get the key as well, so... Hopefully in this next room we get some good RNG on the enemy movement. We want them to come down to the bottom right of the screen. Oh, of course, they both go up to the top. Okay, got the key.
Those ice physics to get that key seems so hard.
Yeah, well, if you don't, so you move faster by swinging your sword, but then you have momentum, and so it just, if I didn't swing the sword, it would be faster, or it would be easier to do, but it would be slower, so... It is a little bit frustrating. On the more open ice, where you don't have to be as precise with your directions, it's not so bad. I love the movement in that room, though. Oh, and it also of note, when you use the dash, you also have iframes, which is super cool. Okay, so here's a big puzzle that we're supposed to go through. But we have bombs. So this is one of those rooms where just going along the left side here is not so bad with the ice. The ice physics aren't... That's one of the easier rooms to deal with the ice physics on, I guess I should say. And now this is a big tile puzzle. Oh, dang it. Okay, got it. So, I think you're supposed to use arrows for that, but bombs work just as well, and save menu, so... Now we want to go get the key. And now we'll just do a fall into the pit to warp out of the room. Saves just a little bit of time. And now here we're right before the mini boss or the mid boss. Got our health refilled. And now here we go.
Pretty sure I have never seen a boss like this in a Zelda game before.
I'm sure you never have. So it's also, when the worm is under the snow, you can still hit it with bombs, so, which is kind of cool. It won't take damage from your sword, but it will from bombs. So. And now this can be an annoying room, but the dash shoes make it a bit easier. Oh. So that's where we got that flame medallion from the mini boss, and now we get to use it. We gotta melt the ice around the blocks for this block puzzle. Now this is a room where you have to, this is a very large room where you have to kill all the enemies in the room. So basically the exit's at the top of the screen, so we're just going to go up the left side, then fall into a pit to warp back to the bottom, and then go up the right side. So... And there's lots of hearts in this room, which is really nice. Just saves a little bit of backtracking to use that pit warp there, so... And that makes those enemies a lot easier. Right? Okay, that actually went super smoothly, that room. So now here, this is another room. The ice patches with the snowballs can make this room a bit frustrating. Even with the dash boots. Okay, gonna get my projectile because we gotta hit a switch in this next room. So you can do this without the bow and arrow, but it's quite a bit slower. So now position myself, and I do that like every time, I swear. I hit the dash instead of the arrow. Got the switch, okay. Put the flame medallion back on, and now on to the boss. So this is one that can be a bit of a pain. Once you kind of learn his patterns, he becomes a lot easier, but can still be a bit annoying. And like casually, this is one, like these bosses, like on my first playthrough, I had to use all kinds of potions and stuff on these bosses. So. But making use of the sword and the... Oh, that went super well. The sword and the flame medallion both really help. Alright, so now Crocus is releasing an all-out onslaught on the castle. Gonna try to take out the king before he wakes up. So I hope we can make it back in time. Oh good, just in time, we made it back. It's always nerve-wracking, you never want to be too late. So we got all three of the ingredients back there, and now the king is awake, and it turns out the king is super powerful. So we woke the king, that means game over, right?
Yep. Fish the name of the game. The king's not sleeping anymore.
So now we actually have to go take on Crocus himself, so, and then that'll be the end of the game. So to do that, we've got to go to the Wastelands, and to get to the Wastelands, we've got to go through this cave that has, in my opinion, the worst room of the game. Known as the Zubat Cave, and you will see why. If I make it through the room without falling into the pit, I will be very surprised. Okay. Oh, dang it, I didn't quite hit it. There we go. Gotta hit all those switches super quickly. So... this yellow potion is an invincibility potion, which we'll use in that aforementioned Zubat Cave. So, I don't remember if I actually said the name. Oh, I lost my beams because I took damage. But yeah, now that after beating the first 3 temples, you get a beam sword, which is super nice. But like in Zelda, it only is active when you have full health, which means I'm gonna be checking pots for hearts when I don't have full health. There's a lot of enemies in here. But yeah, the beam sword is super powerful. The beam, I think, is more powerful than the sword is itself, unless you're doing like the dash attack. Okay, so here is that Zubat Cave, and there are lots of these bats. I'm gonna try to play it safe. Okay, well, that's not usually the spot where you fall into the pit. Gonna get this potion ready. Okay, well, I lost my beam. I went too far. That super narrow path there with the bats is why this is the worst room in the game, in my opinion. So we lost the potion. I'm gonna re-equip the boots. Okay, took out most of those bats. Okay, we should be good now. That's just a little frustrating to fall into the pit like that. Okay. Made it out of the cave. Now we're going to get another invincibility potion here that we'll use at the end of the game, so... that heart would have been nice for the beam sword. Okay, so now we're in the wasteland, and there are all kinds of these orcs here. Oh, shoot. Alright, and now we are coming up on the entrance to the castle, and conveniently the Crocus left this circuit out front for us to control his gate. That was real nice of him. Alright, so here we go, entering the castle. So this room can be a bit of a pain, but you really don't want to get hit by those. Or do that. Dang it. So the floor drops out from under you, and then those guys shoot energy balls at you, and so it's a recipe for falling off.
Yeah, this looks terrifying every time you do it.
The dash helps because it gives you iframes, but yeah. Okay. So, and that's again, you're supposed to go around to find clues for what that is, but it's always the same, so we get to skip going around to all the extra rooms to find that out, so. And then here's a 4-tile puzzle. This one is interesting. You can actually soft lock yourself if you do it incorrectly, and you have to like save and quit to get out of there because you are stuck in the bottom and not able to get out if you block the stairway completely. So. Oh, dang it. Okay. Now, another circuit puzzle. Oh. There we go. So in the any percent run, you don't actually have to do this one, but it breaks one of the energy barriers blocking Crocus's room. And we need to do that to get out over here to take on the mid-boss of the final castle, so. Another floor tile puzzle. This one's not so bad. Nice, you can use the dash to make it a little bit faster. Okay, now moving floor with pits and energy balls. So this can be a stressful room, but you do it well. It's not so bad. Okay, got my beam sword back. And coming up in the next room is the mid-boss, and I'm going to explain before I go in there. It's possible to do a soft lock on the boss, or not soft lock, a stun lock on the boss, so that's what I'm going to go for. It needs the beam sword to do it, so we'll see. Hopefully we can get it. Those spiders are literally the worst. They have so much health. Okay, we dash right in here and then start spamming the sword. I missed it. Oh, heck. Well, I was hardly ever missing the stun lock in practice, but of course I can't get it now.
It definitely looks really tricky to do, though.
Okay. So now we come back out here and warp back to the front entrance. And now we can go, we have one last puzzle to do before we take on the final boss, so. And it's a big circuit puzzle. right, there we go. So this one, there are 3 that you're supposed to do, but we just hit the... When you hit the final one, it assumes you've done the others, so then we don't actually have to go find the second one. And so here we are on the final boss. Hopefully I don't get bad RNG and he teleports away. I have a safety save if I get the worst RNG and can't beat the fight. But we basically warp up here. I'm gonna equip that. So there we go. Oh, there we got him. So time is when the screen fades to white.
That scared me.
Yeah, the teleporting away was so time.
Girl.
Thank you so much. So that was actually within about 6 seconds of my PB.
Wow. That is really impressive.
So yeah, that's the run, that's the game. We get this ring that if you come back then you can teleport from anywhere. There's a lot of content that we didn't go through. And yeah, so now that's the end. The kids are going to bed. And Grandpa's gonna fall asleep in the chair again. So, but yeah, this is a super fun game. It's on Steam and on Switch, and always happy to have more runners pick up the game. So, now the credits. So, thank you all so much for watching and enjoying this wonderful Frame Fatales event. I believe coming up next is Tina Hacks with Monster Boy in the Cursed Kingdom, which is a super awesome run. It's definitely one of my favorites to watch. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah,
so
that's gonna be really awesome to see. So, thank you for letting me join you.
yeah, thanks for hanging out and helping and being awesome.
Yeah, and one more time, GG and congrats on the run.
Thanks.